Good.
Oh, how are you doing today, Colin?
Not too bad, mate. I'm just finishing my dinner, so I'll be a little bit on the quiet side for the start.
It's not a problem.
I'm having a munch instead of you doing it for a change.
Oh no, I've got my munch prepared, don't worry.
Yours will come later, like it always does.
Yep, usually around about Q2, somewhere around there.
That's what I'm expecting. That's why I'm trying to get mine out of the way before Q2, so as then I can take away your stuff in your face.
Yeah. And that is that. Done.
Oh god, that can't be safe.
What?
Obviously, I'm in the Williams chat, and Socio just said that he's got the beers ready.
Oh, Jesus! We've already got one driver already drink driving.
Yep. Either drink driving or preparing to, one of the two.
As I drop my controller.
But to be fair, I'm sure there's a few of those out there. I know a few of the other boys like to have a beer while they're driving, so...
Yeah. Good evening to those who have joined. Hope you have a good qualifying session. As we're just waiting for Ronansaurus to get in. Colin, by any chance have you got your iPad ready?
I was just sorting it out. I actually had a problem with my internet last night, and my iPad was not connected to it. I was just connecting the iPad back to the internet. That's what the I wasn't going to say the other word was a minute ago.
Yeah, I think we all know.
I had no connection to YouTube. So, yep, I'm sorted. I am just loading it up. What I will have to do is turn the volume down. So, if it comes out very loud in a second, I do apologise. Yep, there we go. Right, that's volume down, and we are sorted. Right, so we've already had a comment from Kieran. He said, "Evening, guys."
Evening, Kieran. Yes, we've got a wild hound racing with us today. But apart from that, it is a full grid.
That was just a little bit of unluckiness by Joseph tonight, unfortunately. Connection error of some description, that's all in the chat.
Yeah.
That's really unfortunate. We all have days where things like that happen, so...
And we've got the first man out, which is Sedaluk.
That doesn't surprise me. I found that Sedaluk likes to go out quite early on.
Yeah.
So is Stephen and Schnitzy, they're both out as well. It's usually, these guys go out early and Kieran goes out late, so we've always got someone on track.
Yeah.
Very unusual that we don't have anyone on track to talk about.
So this week...
On the outlap, we have nothing to talk about.
Right, we will just have a look at the standings from last week.
Yeah.
We've got Warrior Huntsman in first.
Right, when you're done with that, I do have a little bit of information that's just come through on the comment.
If you want to go with that, a bit quick.
Okay. The reason I said it was Cameron Porter said rain is expected 30 minutes into the race at dry start. And Kieran said, wet end to the race, you're going to love this weekend's helmet.
Oh.
So it is the weather I was concentrating on, not Kieran's helmet. I wasn't interested in that.
Yeah.
When we will take a look, just because we always have a nice little look at Kieran's helmet. He likes to change it regularly. But the weather is definitely going to play a factor in the race then, by the looks of it. So, sorry, would you like to go back to the standings?
Yes, I will do.
On that one.
But Sedaluk's already on his lap, so that can wait for a minute. Or if you want to just take a look.
Yeah, I was going to say, if you want to run through that, you could also have a look at the constructor standings.
Yes.
I mean, obviously that's for all three tiers, rather than just tier 2, of course. But obviously
it's still constructors either way.
It's still a constructors. It's constructors for all three tiers at once. So.
Okay, so at the moment, after the first race last week, we've got Warrior Huntsman in first, Matthias in second, Sedaluk third, Joseph in fourth, Sociopath in 5th, Scotty 15 in 6th, Avalak in 7th, in 8th we've got Schnitzy, 9th we've got Mazebin, 10th we've got Jack Slater, 11th we've got Paranoid, 12th we've got Ronan Saurus, 13th is J-Doi, 14th is TIG Steven, 15th is GJ Bother, 16th is Kieran, 17th is Cameron Poulter, 18th Armin 86, 19th Matey Boy, and all the way in 20th we've got Clay.
Oh, there must have been a slight change there then. I heard you say Jack Slater in 10th on there. Obviously, Williams driver the same as I am, so obviously our points count up. So I pay attention to the Williams boys finishing positions. Obviously, I try not to be biased at all, but I always pay attention to the finishing positions. And I'm sure it was a P11 for him last week, unless something changed in the
penalties. Yes.
Yeah, I must have missed something changing the penalties.
Oh, that is a nice helmet from Kieran.
Oh, is he actually out? That is.
Yeah. It is
amazing.
quite a nice helmet, but we'll stick with him for the lap as he does a 52.3 in the second sector as J-Doi, his teammate, comes in with a 32.6.
I'm going to try and grab a look at Kieran's helmet on the screen actually, so I can see what you're watching, just delayed stuff. Because I'm actually watching the Sociopath doing his lap at the minute.
As Kieran goes down one of the longest straights, if not the longest straight in F1.
Yeah, that is a very, very long straight. In fact, I think the only one I've seen that is longer than that is the start-finish straight at Azerbaijan.
And it is a 132.7 for Kieran. A 10th behind his teammate.
That is very, very close at the top there with the McLaren boys.
So I'll just drop back to Matthias to see what his lap will be. He comes round, I believe it's turn 13. Don't count me on that. And round the last corner. And it's a 32.2.
He's actually ahead of the Williams that I was watching, a Sociopath, who's just putting a 32.9. So
and it looks like Sociopath's going for another lap.
He might well be. Obviously, I wasn't reading out his sector time because we were watching somebody else, but I was keeping my eye on it all the time.
Good evening, T-Bag. 3 races tier 3 need rain is China, Silverstone and USA, or is going to be painful racing in the dry for me. It might be.
Flying to cursor. Seriously. I already struggle with China. Don't make it worse for me by enticing rain. He just wants rain.
As we go through the twisty sector 2 with Sociopath, who I don't think is going for another lap because his ERS isn't going down. Ham's managed to put in a lap.
Wow, that's unusual. I was actually had distance on with GJ Bother and he suddenly just
retired in the pits.
Yeah, he did just retire in the pits, but just before that he seemed to have a little bit of trouble getting into the pit lane. He seems to have stopped where the wall is on the left as you go around that left hander. He seems to have stopped there. I don't know what happened.
So he did.
Moving away from it.
So he did a Louis. Oh wait, on the left.
Yeah, so you know if you come into the pit lane, you go straight on and then you do that left hander and then down the pit lane.
Yeah.
And where the braking zone is for the actual start of the pit lane. Well, that left hander is a wall there and he was actually like face to face with the wall. I don't know what he was doing. I only kind of caught the end of it. Just as he was sort of reversing and trying to kind of go down the side of the wall instead of into the wall.
So I'm just going to drop on with Macebin, who's going down the straight of sector 3.
Well, I'm actually on board with Warrior Huntsman. He just started with flying off.
Kieran said, I'm superstitious with my helmets. I had a bad race with last week's one, so I changed it.
He has actually mentioned that to me before. He's very superstitious when it comes to his racing. He's got his own little ritual he has to do, and that was one of those things. If it's bad,
we'll just go on board We'll go on board with Warrior Huntsman, yeah. Purple Sector 1.
I missed the time, but it was a Purple Sector 1. Yeah, we were talking during helmet situation. I did miss the time. It was a Purple Sector 1. I thought that.
So I'll just stick on with him for the rest of his lap.
Well, if you're going to stick on with him for the rest of his lap, then I'll go and find somebody else to keep an eye on.
And it's a 52-1 in the second sector for Huntsman.
Yeah, there's a 52-3 from Cameron Poulter there, and he's just about to cross the line. We're the 32-6.
Not very much splitting Cameron Poulter and J-Doy.
It's about 3/4 of a tenth. Like,
yeah.
Quite close. I mean, I've seen a lot closer, but that's still pretty close. So, who else have we got now currently? We have Paranoid on a lap, I believe. Yes, he is. I was just waiting for his time to appear on my screen. It was just blank. I didn't know what was going on there.
And Kieran's just said, plus I'm back to my beer of the week and weekly helmets. And it's a 32-6 for Huntsman as well.
Oh, that's literally just split the McLaren from Cameron Poulter. That's pretty close.
It is, as Mayspin puts in a 32-4. Good evening, Armin.
I don't really think that's as much track evolution as raw speed from some of these guys. I tell you what, that helmet that Paranoid's got on is very nice. I don't know if it's customized colour. I've never seen it before, but it's red and it looks like...
oh, Paranoid's helmet is beautiful!
That is very, very nice. Like I said, I don't know if that's the colour it comes or whether he's actually modified the colour switch, because I've not seen that one before. But that is very nice. And it kind of matches his car as well, being an Alfa Romeo. Yeah.
And Armin, just responding to your question, it is a 132.2 from all the way back down in 2004 from Michael Schumacher.
A 32.8 from Paranoid, which is...
Sedaluk is gone.
For 6th place. And yes, Sedaluk's gone. I don't know what happened there.
As I'm just going to go on with Clay, see how he's finding the circuit, and it's a 52.1.
But it appeared to have been slower than his lap,
so we'll just stick on with Clay.
Well, whatever happened to Sedaluk, there is no non-moving vehicles on the track. So,
no.
It may have been...
We go down to turn 13.
Oh, I was about to say he's an Alpha Tauri, the same as Avi. I've just jumped on board with Avi as he comes out of a spin. I don't know what happened there.
Oh, it's actually turn 14, as Clay puts in the fastest.
Wow. Mason, I think, just retired. I think Sedaluk may have retired in pits, but Scott goes even faster.
32.2.
Well, almost 32.3, but 32.2 is still a 32.2. So...
But it's still not quicker than Michael.
No. As I say, I do think that Sedaluk may have retired in the pit, because it looks like on the little dot there isn't an Alpha Tauri actually sitting in the pit. So
yeah.
It would be strange of him to have retired in the pit in what we would call an unsafe position. You know, could have gone out and maybe tried to improve. So
I'm just gonna Ham's going into the pit. I'll go on board with Jack Slater, who is low on ERS, so I doubt he'll be going on for another lap.
Well, I'm actually on board with Avi, who is full on ERS and possibly going for another lap. As I say, I jumped on board with him as he had a little spin.
So I'm just on board with Schnitzy, who does a 52.8 in the second sector.
Sorry, I was just saying something from the white.
And Armin's just said, I think one of the best helmet designs was the yellow and black one of Hulkenberg when he was still racing.
That was a nice helmet.
It was. As Schnitzy comes down to turn 14. Oh, and he's spun.
Ooh. We've got Jack Slater out who is on a lap and almost out of the RS.
He is now out of the RS.
He is now, yeah, but he's just coming to the bottom of the straight, so he will get a little more. This is something we noticed when we were practicing earlier. I was actually talking to Paranoid, and we found that with DRS, you can get one solid lap out, because by the time you get to the end of your second, then you're running out of DRS, which then decreases the overall top-end power of the vehicle as well. So realistically, you only want to be doing one run with your ERS on.
Yeah.
Because in hot lap, it runs quite a lot of DRS. So.
And Paranoid's just said you can modify that helmet.
Oh, right. Okay.
It was fixed before, but they allowed customization for it with the latest patch.
Well, I haven't seen it, so I didn't know which helmet it was, hence why I didn't know whether it was the colour it came out or whether that was customised colour, but it is a very nice colour all the same.
Stephen's just coming up to turn 9. Down in 11th place for him at the moment.
I tell you what.
And he does go quicker.
I can see the comments perfectly fine on my iPad, but for some reason, everything else going on the screen is a bit blurry. I think I've still got a bad connection.
Oh, tail stepped out for a bit there from Stephen. Going round turn 13.
So I am actually now on board with Avi. As I said, I was on with Jack Slater. It's kicked me to Avi because Jack Slater was
in the pits. Yeah.
He's actually just about to start a flying lap, and as yet he's the only man who hasn't set a time yet. And
it's a 32.4 for Stephen.
Had a couple of little spins and stuff, so.
And I'm gonna head down the order down to Sociopath. See what he can do in the first sector.
Well, I'd say Sociopath fairly safe. I mean, at the minute, we've got Cedric and Bob, they're already out. There's no question about that.
Yeah.
Avi is the only one who hasn't set a time, but we have 3 people to lose. As it stands, it's Avi, Jack Slater, and Elite House. So, I mean, I fully expect Avi to set a time and move inside the top 10. We could then, of course, drop Matthias into the drop zone, unless he can improve, which is on an out lap. So,
as Sociopath comes from turn 12 and 13. I don't know why I was going to say 12 and 11 then. And
Laurie Huntington's retired in the 6th. And Avi's just gone purple middle sector, 52.187. And do you know what, that's the corner I can never seem to get the power down on.
Sedalux just said, I span and lost a wheel into the DRS straight. I'm not going to repeat the word, but he said, don't like this game.
Straight to the game, yeah, I know what you mean, I've just read it. So apparently that helmet is called Cosmos helmet, and it used to be purple. Which makes sense, because it did look a bit sort of space-like, and usually they use like a purple or a black or something like that for kind of the space effect colours on it.
Yeah.
So that does make sense. It was a very nice colour. Oh, it was maybe from season 1. I must have missed that one then. But it is very nice, all the same.
I'm just on board with Hamd, who's just coming up.
Avi has set a lap,
to turn 7.
Which is only good enough for 13th, and he's 6,000 behind Sociopath.
Oh.
But it has pushed Matthias into the drop zone, so Matthias needs to find some time here.
And Matthias is
I don't know,
out on a lap. He is 3/10 up.
I was going to say, when I clicked onto him, it didn't give me his up or down on it, it just gave me his current time, so that really didn't help.
And he has got the toe of a Haas, which I believe is Matey Boy.
Yes, you'd be right, it is, it's Matey Boy. Chris Allman is currently on the circuit elsewhere. and almost a second down.
And Matthias goes 11th. As I'm just going to go with Avi to see if he can improve.
Hasn't improved, and Jack Slater is improving, but I don't think it's going to be enough. It's only less than a tenth. So
he needs to try and find...
Well, he squeezed ahead of Sedlock, but unfortunately that wasn't enough.
And Avi goes into the pits.
So, well, he didn't need to finish his time anyway. So our drop zones guys are Ronsaurus, Jack Slater, Sedlock, Elite Hound, and DJ Bobber. So we just need to wait for people to come in off track, and then we'll be in. I think we're mainly waiting for Armand.
Yeah.
You're around the last corner now.
Don't go in the pits.
I really hate it when people do that.
Just take the flag.
To be fair, I think his garage is quite far down, so there you go. Oh, he's retired anyway, but I think it takes
thank you for that, Armin. Thank you.
Yeah, being a happy was quite far down the pit lane as well, so I think he may have actually crossed the line.
JD Armin, that isn't socially distanced from Kieran. That is
not socially distanced.
Oh, wait, it's the exact same time.
1:32.698. Yeah, I'm glad Kieran picked that up because I missed it.
So did I.
Kieran does like to sit and pay attention to things that most of us wouldn't. I do like Kieran's flag as well. No one's interested in the super license, Dan.
No, I accidentally pressed a button.
Yeah, have you seen Kieran's flag?
I have. That is the flag for Israel.
I'm going to say it's the Israeli flag. I know which one it is. I was just wondering if you'd seen it and if you'd recognise it, actually.
You're talking to a geography nerd.
Okay. So, the question on this this qualifying session is who's going to come out on what tyres, because from practice, a lot of people have been saying, although those soft tyres are quick, they wear out very, very quickly.
I think a lot of people are going to go for the mediums.
Well, on your out lap, you can put about 5 or 6% on your front left tyre alone.
Oh.
It is very, very brutal on tyres, this track.
As Matthias is now coming out on the medium tyre.
So I would be quite inclined to say a lot of people may go medium hard compound for the race.
Well, if it's raining towards the end...
Yeah, well, you may find, they go different, but I would be surprised if a lot of people aren't starting on the medium based on how quickly the softs wear. I mean, they all wear quickly in comparison to normal, but you're only getting 4 to 6 laps roughly before you're starting to lose grip on the softs.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not just me. A couple of other people have said the same thing as well. They start to lose grip after 4, 5, 6 laps. So this track is absolutely brutal on tyres. I think it's probably one of the worst ones that I've seen to track tyre wear anyway.
Okay, we've only got 3 people on soft tyre.
Yeah, but the thing is, all those people actually out on tyres yet. There is...
Sociopath.
We are actually out on the tyres. That Sociopath and Armin are actually out on the soft tyres.
As we get in.
And Kieran are both on the soft tyres, but none of them have actually come out yet. So they may or may not actually come out on those tyres. I mean, if those guys qualified inside the top 10 on those soft tyres, they will have to pit probably before lap 4 would be my guess.
Yeah, Kieran's just said, I'm waiting for this session, track evolution.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to put a couple of laps on it just to get qualifying time. You know, 2-3 laps on it. He's going to have to come in lap 3, 4, maybe 5, depending on how far they can push their tyres into the race on heavy fuel load.
Yeah.
So,
as Matthias just comes up to the end of Sector 1, and it is a 24-7.
24-7-6, I saw that myself. So while you're watching him, I will switch over to J-Doy, who's just finished in Sector 1, and at 24.862 from J-Doy in Sector 1, which actually shows the purple, but I do believe that's because nobody's actually set a lap time yet.
And as Matthias just comes to the end of the twists and turns of Sector 2, and he's gone off.
So we've had a couple of comments, and it turns out they were to the wrong screen, so it's okay.
Alright.
Yeah, Martin, one of the guys from Tier 1, he didn't load his setup, that's why he's driving like a pensioner. And then he goes wrong screen, never mind. Well done, mate, well done.
I'm just going to go on with May Spin because Matthias is slowing down.
And whilst I was amusingly laughing at that, I did actually miss J-Doy's Sector 2 time. So,
as May Spin is coming up to turn 16.
Ooh, that was well out of the way there.
And it's a 133.333.
That is impressive to get the 333. And J-Doy does a 154.515.
Let's have a look at Paranoid's doing. It's a 53 flat in the second sector.
China is a beautiful track. I don't know why, I don't know where that came from, but he clearly admires China.
I think others have other opinions.
Yeah, I was going to say, to be fair, it is a nice track, but to drive it, it is brutal on tyres.
As Paranoid's coming up to turn 14.
You'll see how much it's not my favourite on Sunday. I'll probably get my first DNF of the season now, Marlow. So, Arman's actually set
and it's a 134 flat full Paranoid.
I was just going to say Arman's time, and then in comes Paranoid. So we've had 6 on a 34 flat, Paranoid on a 34 flat, Arman on a 34 2, which has split J-Boy and Mason from the first 3 times set. So everybody apart from Arman has set times on medium tyres.
Yeah, and I'm just on board with Avi, who is coming through Sector 1.
I'll be honest, I don't think that's going to play very well into Arman's hands when it comes to race strategy if he stays in the top 10.
Depends how many laps he puts on his tyres, really. As Mayspin
has broken it into a 219 now. He ignored the 333, he didn't like that.
No.
Cameron Poulter, a 2-minute lap almost. That must have been instant pack.
As Sociopath puts in a 32.7 on the soft tyre.
But again, it is a soft tyre, we expect it to be fast start. And again, I'm not
Avi's
sure it's going to play very well into the strategy.
Avi's gone purple Sector 2 with, I think it was a 52.4 or 52.6.
52.651.
Yeah. As we have a little bit of a break with him going down this humongous straight.
It is a long one. As I said before, I think the only one I've seen longer is the Azerbaijan one.
Talking of Azerbaijan, we have that later on in the season.
That track, you get those like really fast like air spend, and then it's just
flat out.
Like you're flat out all the way.
And it's a 33.4 for Avi. As I'm just going to go on with Clay.
Almost 200 mile an hour by the time you hit the DRS activation zone. So
it's a 24.6 in the first sector from Clay. This is going to be a quick lap.
So as it stands, the only person on the track that... Oh, no, there is 2 because I didn't spot the tyres as well. I was going to say on the soft tyres is actually Sosa, but it's not. and tyres are still out on the soft as well. Although that is a McLaren facing the wrong way. Oh, that's Kieran. He was completely off circuit, facing the wrong way. I don't know what he was doing there.
Kieran's just said Matt has the wrong setup on.
Ooh.
Clay just hit the DRS zone perfectly. Well done, Clay.
I said, go Socio, sorry mate, I couldn't get a decent time in Q1. So that is the second Williams driver trying to clear on the other Williams driver.
And Clay sets a 33.1.
That's pretty good time, bearing in mind that is on the medium tyres as well. So,
I'm just going with Matt.
Yeah, I was just having a quick look.
Just gone around the last corner.
Managing on those top tyres, and he's out of the RS, so that won't help him.
It's a 32.9.
I'm not surprised on those top tyres that they're going to the top, but that can't be good for their race strategy overall.
I'm now going on board with Kieran, see what he can do with his first lap.
Well, while you're doing that then, I'll jump on with Warrior Huntsman, who's doing a 24.5 first sector.
I'll tell you what Kieran says in a second.
Ooh, that was a step out from the tail.
It's a 24.8 for Kieran in the first sector.
Yeah, I think Warrior Huntsman.
As we go through turn 7. What can Kieran do on his first lap? We've got roughly around about 5.5 minutes left.
Yeah,
and it's a 53 flat in the second sector for Kieran.
And that's a 33.7 from Warrior Huntsman. I think he may even go again. He didn't look like he's backing out. I also think he lost a little bit of time as well in the third sector, just after he got into sector 3. However, he may actually be backing out here, so I think he might run out of fuel.
And in for turn 14 from Kieran. Yeah, Kieran just went straight into the wall.
Oh, that's not helpful.
And into the pits where the old gravel trap used to be.
Out of the second to last corner, and a little bit too much heavy on the right foot. I've done that a few times myself.
And I'm just going to go on board TIG Stephen, who is yet to put out a lap.
Okay, well, I'll jump on board with Matey Boy then, who has just started his lap. So, and he again, the same, hasn't actually set a time yet. And the only one who hasn't actually been out at all so far is Scott, but that may be him just coming out of the pit. Yes, he is. That was him. I caught it as Matey Boy came round turn 2.
And it's a 33.6.
He's just purpled the first sector and then had a big wobble out of the next turn. That was really unfortunate for Matey Boy there.
So I'm just going to have a look around the track to see what is going on with other drivers, as Huntsman's now going at the pits.
On 57.8 the middle sector. But there was a lot of weaving around on the straight, so I think Matey Boy may have actually given up on this lap. And yeah, his ERS is switched off as well, so I think he's given up on the lap and he's keeping his tyres warm now.
Yeah.
And he's going to go again, because unfortunately, from although he did purple sector 1, he just had a massive step out from the tail and almost lost it. So
ooh.
The car wasn't playing very nice.
As Armand's just coming through turn 9 onto the little straight going into sector 3, and his ERS is turned off.
Well, if you can hear I'm a Celebrity in the background, I do apologise. I was watching I'm a Celebrity again.
Ah.
So you might hear a lot of Anthem Death in the background on my end, and I do apologise for that.
Ah, it's all good. It's in Wales.
Yeah, it's gone from I'm a Celebrity in the jungle to I'm a Celebrity in a castle. I'm not
yes.
Sure
A Welsh castle.
The only thing I'd be fearing over there is the sheep.
Do you know why though?
No.
No? It's because no one can get in the castle.
Oh, right, sorry, I thought it was because of the sheep.
No.
I didn't know why nobody would be scared of the sheep. Scott, Purple Sector 1, a 24704.
You know what? Let's not talk about I'm a Celebrity. We are here for F1.
Well, I wasn't. You started on about Welsh castles.
You started on about I'm a Celeb.
I just mentioned that it was playing in the background. So I'm still watching Scott go around. And
I'm watching Matey Boy.
The Welsh castle, but you know.
Tail steps out a little bit, coming out on.
On this very wide from Scott on the exit of the sweeping right-hander onto the back straight.
So turn 30.
That's the one. I can never remember which number turn it is. I just don't like it.
No, I always get confused whether it's turn 13 or 14.
Yeah, I don't like that little chicane just before because
and it's a
little bump that always kicks my tail around on me.
34-1 for Matey Boy. So now I'll just go on with Scott to see.
On the last corner. We
it's a 24.8 for Kieran in the first sector.
Scott's got to go again, and he's got to hope he's enough ERS because he's about 40%. So that won't help him. But his time was invalidated on the last turn. He ran wide on the right side. No, he's backed out of it.
As Kieran's just coming up to turn 12.
So based on this, we are losing Scott in P15.
Couple drivers going on to the softer tyre to guarantee safety in Q2.
Looking at those that's out, I mean, I understand Warrior Huntsman because he's in P9. But guys like Clay and Cameron are, I think they're fairly safe up there.
Sociopath. As Kieran goes 8th.
Yeah, you see, this is what I say. I can understand Warrior Huntsman jumping out on those tyres, but not so much the likes of Clay and Cameron because I don't think they needed to myself.
Scott's invalidated.
Scott had invalidated his last lap and didn't have enough time to get around anyway. And he was very slow out of turn 2, so I knew he'd backed out
as
his lap.
Huntsman is 8/10 up in the second sector.
Is it second? Sorry, I thought it was first. My mistake.
No, it's second. As we just wait for him to get to turn 14.
Yeah, it takes a while for him to get there, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Start waiting for Christmas. Only not as exciting.
As Avi leaves the session.
And
Huntsman. And that is Schumacher's record broken by Warrior Huntsman.
Yeah. So Sociopath is not on the lap. Kieran is not on the lap. So I do believe everybody else who is out on track now is not on a lap. So we are losing J-Doy, Paranoid, Snitsy, Matey Boy, and Scott, who unfortunately didn't get set a lap. He was actually on quite a good lap as well.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, he ran a little bit wide coming out of the last turn and invalidated, which would have actually invalidated the lap he was on and the next lap as well. And he had less than a minute left, so that's what happens when you come out late though.
So we're just waiting for, I think it's Sociopath to get into his garage.
Yeah, if he'd have taken the flag, this would have been over a lot faster. Saying that, he is actually, by the looks of it, I mean, I've switched to him and it looks like he's actually in his garage. I don't know what we're waiting for. I'm just looking at the entire pit lane.
There we go.
I thought maybe we'd picked up that bug on it again.
Ah. Oh, how is Anton Deck doing?
Annoying in the background.
So we are losing J-Doy, Paranoid, Schnitzy, Matey Boy and Scotty15, who did not manage to set a time.
Kieran says, I'll take that. What it means is knocking his teammate out and him staying in. Now, to be fair, there was about 2.5 tenths between them, so it wasn't like it was really, really close or anything between 10th and 11th. There was a couple of tenths there at least. And that's a fair gap when it comes to racing, 2-3 tenths.
It is.
So, on to quali 3 then for a top 10 shootout. It looks as though so far nobody's actually crashed out.
No.
I mean, we've seen a few people retire in the pits for what may not have been great reasons or whatever, but so far I don't believe anyone's actually crashed out.
Not yet.
Now the commentator's person, everyone's going to crash this session.
Kieran. Nah, I'm only joking, Kieran. Go take the pole. Go take the pole spot.
He's not joking, Kieran. Trust me, he's not. He's expected to crash.
Yeah, will do.
It says, it just said send Avi an invite at the end of the quali session and the race start.
Basically, send Avi an invite when the race starts.
Well, it says at the end of quali session and the race starts. That's what's confused me. It doesn't really
I know what
sense.
he means.
I'm glad you know what he means, because that's confusing me. That doesn't make a world of sense.
It's Kieran. What does make sense?
Fair point. So I did miss as well. Mason says soft will be dead after 5 laps here, which we did touch on that earlier, how quickly the soft tyres will be just destroyed by this circuit.
Yeah.
Oh, he said, I just realised I was watching the stream from 10 minutes ago and that was a reply. So he was actually replying to our conversation from about half an hour ago. And he was a little bit delayed on it. Because that comment came through 5 minutes ago and he was responding to 10 minutes before that. So about 15-20 minutes ago we were having that conversation.
Yeah.
It's okay, he'll catch up eventually.
Yeah. Bless me.
And it's okay, you won't hear me mocking him because I know he's out on track, I can see him.
As I believe it is Matthias going out first.
There goes Matthias.
Bless me again. I'm just going to stick on with Sociopath.
Matthias was watching 1-1-1. But Mason is out on track, so he's on an out lap, so it makes no difference. This is what happens when people's names all begin with the same letter. I get them easily confused.
Yeah. And it's a 24-3 for Sociopath in the first sector.
So something I just noticed of the top 10 shootout, there is only 2 teams with both cars in the shootout.
That is
Ferrari and Aston. With Avi's in an Alpha Tauri, Kieran's in a McLaren, Matthias is in an Alpine, Sociopath is in a Williams, Cameron Porter is in a Red Bull and going a little bit sideways out the last turn, and Armand Plays is in a Hatch.
And it's a purple sector 2 for Sociopath that I missed, but that's fine.
52099.
Thank you. And by the way, yes, I have started munching.
We can hear, we just choose to ignore. I say this for both me and the people who are commentating. Because we're all used to it.
I'm glad you're used to it. And Sociopath puts in a 32.5.
close as you can get for 32.6 almost. That's a pretty good time, but I have a feeling it might get beaten.
As Mayspin's coming down to turn 14 with no ERS.
I mean, Warrior Huntsman, very, very fast. Avi's normally very fast too. Not that Sociopath's slow, of course. Sociopath isn't slow, he's quite fast.
Yeah. Tier 3 champion last year.
Yeah, I mean, Sociopath Tier 3 champion last season, and is, you know, he's holding his own against the Tier 2 guys as well, so definitely seems to be enjoying himself. So, who else have we got on lap?
Kieran said we're having one lap wonder from Kieran today, as Cameron sets at 32.3.
Well, this, I mean, it makes sense. If Kieran's got the confidence to just go for a lap, then you can't blame him. Stephen's just on a 51.975 purple middle sector, by the way.
Ooh.
If Kieran thinks he can do it in one lap, then that is a huge amount of confidence in himself, which is always great when it comes to racing. And as I said earlier on today, you will only really get one lap out of the ERS.
And it's a 32.6.
32.64.
That was me spinning around, coming round turn 12.
There we go. That's why it's a 2.02. That's the slowest lap we've seen all day. Stephen invalidates on the last turn.
Oh.
Well, that's unlucky. That was a 32.279 as well, so that would have been faster than everyone else.
I just realised, I haven't done a lap of Shanghai yet, so we'll do that with Avi.
Okay, well, Kieran's just said he did a 31.5 in quali practice last night. But then that was last night, and it doesn't always pay off today.
Yeah.
You know, we've all done it. Set a great time in practice when the pressure's not on, and then you get in the pressure of actually racing, and you blow smoke, and you just completely screw up your lap time. You know, we've all done it.
And it's a 24.3 in the first sector for Avi.
See, Stephen is still on for a fairly good time, but unfortunately he's invalidated, so I don't even know why I'm still on board with him. You're on board with Avi. Matthias is about a second down, so he won't be improving. So who's going to come through first out of these two Ferraris? They're both on out lap.
I believe it is Huntsman.
It will be, it'll be Huntsman. He's just coming around turn 12, 13, I think he said it was.
Yes, 12 and 13.
In fact, his Ferrari counterpart is just coming around the same corners. I've just seen him on the map.
As Avi comes down to turn 14.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't think Avi's too far ahead. Because Warrior Huntsman was backing off the back of Avi to give himself some clean driving here then.
And it's a 32.3 for Avalak.
Nice. That's,
but what I'll do,
slight improvement on the guys ahead, which just shows how close a lot of these guys are. With 4 minutes to go though, I think if I was Mayspin, I'd definitely be thinking about coming back out.
Oh yeah. So will Kieran. Kieran should be coming up soon.
Kieran will be out shortly. I mean, this is a 1 minute 30 lap. He said he's going to go for a 1 lap wonder, which means he's probably going to come out around the 3 minute mark or something like that, because that's just
I'll give him sooner. It's a 24.1 from Warrior Huntsman in the first sector.
He only needs about 1 minute 40, 1 minute 45 to get round, but then he needs to get out the pit lane as well. So I think he's going to be around, I would guess, about 2.5, 3 minutes, I think, left of the session here tonight.
And watch us now, he'll just come out now to prove us all wrong.
Yeah, I was going to say, he's going to come out now with 3.5 minutes left just to prove us both wrong. But
and it's a 51.7 from Huntsman.
As well from Huntsman in the middle sector, yeah. At 51.7, bang on. It's not very often you actually see that. It's usually .001 or 3 or something silly like that.
Kieran's just said he's on his way out now.
There you go. Look what time it is. 3 minutes to go. I did say between 2:30 and 3 minutes.
True.
Originally I said 3, but then I thought I'd best change it because I know what Kieran's like as well.
Yeah, as Huntsman's just coming around the last corner. And almost invalidates. And it's a 31.9.
Ooh, that is a good time. That's a 4/10 improvement on everyone else. So there would have been around about 2:45 left when Kieran left the pit lane.
Yeah, as Sociopath's going for another lap now as well.
Well, to be fair, all of these guys, if they get out fast and can keep some space between them, they've all got time for a lap. I mean, they're 2 minutes 15, which means you've got about 45 seconds from sort of the start to the finish of the full lap. So, I mean, some of these guys may even still get 2 laps in. The likes of Sociopath who's just crossed the line.
Yeah, you know. And also Clay.
And we'll say, I think that's Clay behind them as well. Yeah, they'll both get 2 laps in if they want to go for 2 laps. You know, if they've got the fuel on board. But again, you risk the ERS problem of not having enough at the end of your second lap. So,
and it's 24.3, 18 thousandths of a second slower for Sociopath as he comes round turn 7.
That is a purple middle sector from Sociopath as well. He's 2 tenths up. I don't think that's quite going to be enough to make P3.
It might be if...
Might be if he can improve in sector 3 as well.
I'm just going to see what Kieran does in the first sector. It's 24.4. I'll go back to Sociopath.
Yeah, I'm still riding on board with Sociopath at the minute, and then Clay is just behind him as well. So Sociopath has improved by 4 tenths and gone P2.
And Clay's done a 33.1 as Kieran does a purple sector 2, 52.0.
Yeah, but didn't Warrior Huntsman go 51.7 flat through sector 2, which means Kieran must have had a slow sector 1 to a purple sector 2.
As Kieran just comes up turn 14.
Yeah, that was a long run down.
It was.
Let's see who's going to place himself.
32.2. Not bad.
On the grass.
That would be Cameron. Yes, it is.
And while we weren't looking there as well, Stephen has actually slotted himself into P2, knocking Sociopath down by exactly 1 tenth.
And I think that is all the drivers done.
Avi's still
going?
No,
Mayspin's still going too.
Is he? Oh, yeah, I mean, Mayspin's got to improve. Like, I think he had a disaster there. Avi's very slightly down through sector 1, like 0.024 or something, I think it was. It was only very slightly. Sector 2, he's improved by 1 tenth, well, 0.132.
As Mayspin's just coming through the last corner.
And that's actually going to be enough to move him up. Maybe 2 places, maybe P4.
Oh, Mayspin, a 32 flat.
So that second and third then locked out by the 2 Aston Martins. Unless, crazily, Avi can actually split them both. I mean, it would be mental, but it's a possibility. There's 300 between them. And Avi goes P5.
And that is Q3 over and done with. I believe.
I believe it is.
As we're waiting for Avi.
I've just been asked what's the best strategy for starting on soft. I said get off them. Pretty quick. I've got no other.
How are those apples from Kieran? Quite good apples. They are quite good apples, Kieran. And I think we are literally just waiting for Avi.
Yeah, I think we are. I think we're just waiting for Avi to come back in. He's coming around turn 14, I think we said it was now. Like
Yeah.
An ultimate turn there, and then hopefully he'll take the flag. Nope, he's going to go into the pit. Why does everybody do this to us? Got to do it on purpose, honestly. We're having one of those nights where Kieran's doing all the talking in the comment section again.
Yeah.
It's always nice to have something to answer. It's always nice when there's a mix of people talking to you, not just Kieran though.
That is true.
Abby has actually retired, but unfortunately we're still going to have to watch his car go in the garage. I apologise, the live screen, not the TV. Apparently I'm a celebrity. Somewhat exciting for some people.
So, it is Warrior Huntsman who takes pole here at Shanghai, with Stephen not very far behind him.
Oh yeah, I mean there's only just over a tenth between first and second there, but then it's even closer from second to third as well with two Astons. So that's, I mean, aside from Clay, who seems just a little bit off the pace there, about half a second down T9, everybody else is really well closed up. I mean,
Yeah.
first to eighth is covered by less than half a second. It's just over 4/10. Right, that's how close the top 8 are. So, I mean, if it's clean, it should be a really, really good race with that sort of pace the guys have got. So. You remember what we were talking about before the race started?
Yeah.
About people drinking and driving?
Yeah.
Well, in the Tier 2 chat, Cedric said it's his worst start in his CDR career, don't drink and drive. I think that comes right back to the point we were saying about not drinking and driving. I tell you what, only the drivers around here like to drink and drive. And some of them are very good at drinking and driving too.
AKA Kieran.
AKA Kieran, yes. Well, I wasn't going to name any names, but yes, you're right, Kieran. Always drinking and driving, Kieran is. As he said earlier, it's beer in his helmet of the week.
That is true.
If that ain't promoting drink driving, I don't know what is. So, and that's like
right.
that.
Oh,
because of course
yeah.
there was no formation lap due to the bug we've been getting with formation laps lately. That has been fixed off.
I completely forgot about that.
Yep, I had until I saw the lights coming on and I went, this ain't a formation lap. You know to yourself how you think this ain't formation. And I remembered we now have a new rule in for the foreseeable future where there is no formation lap anymore. Because we've been picking up bugs on formation laps where people haven't actually been able to start because they've had connection errors and stuff like that, and it's delayed this start quite significantly. For example, Sunday's race was a bit of a disaster with that one. As you know quite well, Dan, because you were sitting on the grid alongside me, waiting to start.
Yeah.
So strategy, hard to medium 15.22, soft, medium 5.8 and 16.22. And there was somebody span out there, that would be Snipsy. I apologise.
He's on the hard tyre.
Yeah, I was going to say, but I was trying to finish off the tyre strategy suggestions before it ran away off my screen like it does.
Rhodosaurus, 5-second penalty for corner cutting and gaining a place.
So, off the start there then, so we've had Warrior Huntsman, who is...
Oh, Cameron Porter going down the inside of Matthias. Oh, and that is...
has made it 2 places, ahead of the 2 Aston Martins, who are both down a place each. And...
J-Doy, a 5-second penalty for a severe collision with Paranoid.
Oh,
that is Hound and Bother.
Oh, I was going to say, do we know which 2 that is, but you kind of took it away from me a bit there.
Very welcome.
No problem. Yeah, I mean, for the most part, it's been a fairly clean start. We've had a couple of little things, like we've just had Hound and Bother having a little sliding off the track there. We don't know what caused that, we've no idea.
No.
I just saw him in the background skiing, so I don't know what happened there. But I mean, in general, everyone else seems to have had a pretty good start. Aside from Rhodosaurus, who of course has corner cut and gave himself penalty. What was quite strange though is that the game's actually given the 5 seconds for a severe collision. That normally only happens, from my experience, in the safety car.
Yeah.
That's what confused me. I was like, we got a safety car already? It's very unusual to get 5 seconds for a collision without a safety car intervention.
Yeah, I've just got the strategy, and it's saying medium hard lap 12-16, and I missed the medium soft one.
Medium soft medium was 10 to something you can't see, and then I missed the other one because it just hit off the screen. But around lap 10 it's suggesting...
Oh, little snap off maze spin.
So, theory is then the guys on the soft are going to be coming off those softs within the first few laps, would be my best guess. Gearing is to take a 3-second time penalty. And the guys on the mediums should theoretically be coming off them by about lap 10 to 12 or 12 to 13 maybe, something like that.
Yeah.
10 to something.
Or
I would say 12 or 13 would be likely to be the answer.
Cameron Porter sticking up the inside in turn 1. And the switch back in turn 3. Oh, what?
Yep.
Fair play, boys.
But to be fair, he is on the faster tyre, and Scott ain't giving up that position too easily.
No.
With the switch back.
That is beautiful from these two.
Really good wheel-to-wheel racing from both of them. And there's been 0 contact that we've seen either. As I say that, they get a little bit on the close side. Commentator's curse again.
Do you know what? I think I've got a bit more college wick.
I think you might have if they keep driving like that.
I'm just going to stick on with this battle, because this battle is beautiful.
To be fair, I'm doing the same thing, but I probably should pay a little more attention. There's a couple of other moves being made. For example, Paranoid just made a move, and Sociopath, oh, he is very, very close to a move there on Warrior Huntsman. Oh no, he's had to back out of it. That was the end of the long back straight there. Stephen and Mason have just switched places in the 2 Astons in P3 and 4.
Oh, a little bit of spin, tyre spinning from Scott in the last corner as Cameron's now in the pits.
So Bother is currently just about to be lapped by the leaders.
Oh.
The
4 laps.
Well, we're only just at the start of lap 4, so it's not even 4 laps yet. So it's actually just over 3 laps. But it also appears he doesn't have a wing, I think, as they came past. Yep, no, he's got no wing. This is not a great start for Bother in the Mercedes there.
This is some beautiful racing from Tier 2. And it all seems to be going on with Scott.
Yeah, Scott is attacking everything at the minute.
But we'll move away from that and have a look at
Maze
Spin, who might look on a move on his teammate coming down to turn 14.
So Jack Slate was having none of that. He's actually just took that position back from Scott.
Ah.
Who of course will actually have DRS going down the back straight as well. That's probably got to be one of the best places for overtaking. You get up to speed and you've got this massive long DRS straight to overtaking.
Is Clay going to look for a move on Kieran going down the inside? No, he is not, because Kieran is later on the brakes. Kieran, stop looking at your phone. You've got racing to do. As Huntsman's now in the pits.
Scott just squeezed up the inside on the end of that DRS straight. I said he was going to have a go there. The Warrior Huntsman is dropping places, but that's because he's picking.
Yeah, and it is mediums.
Which I'm not surprised by. I did say those tyres weren't going to go for
Avi and Steven going at it down in turn 1.
I'll be surprised if we don't see the likes of Sociopath, Rhonosaurus all coming in as well off those soft tyres. Jack Slater. You know, these guys on these tyres are not going to they're not going to last long, as we well know. So. I mean, J-Doid actually, he's only just put those softs on. Quite strange choice this early in the race, but if he had a wing loss, it would have been an automatic change that he was prepped to make. Anyway.
And that is bothering to the pits, and he's in the Ferrari garage.
What on earth is going on?
Have a look at the street.
Yep, I'm actually looking at it on my own screen as well. So I hope Clay doesn't like his pit garage. All now Warrior Huntsman for that matter, because his back end just seems to be slowing across into Warrior's side.
Yeah, Clay, avoid your garage.
Oh, there you go, he's now DNF.
Is Armand possibly looking for a move on Rhonosaurus? Or is he too far back? He is too far back.
Just made a move on Kieran, who's looking for the switchback, I believe. No, Clay's made it stick, I think. Ooh,
oh, Kieran looking from the outside. Funny enough,
Armand's just made a move. However, that could be because Rhonosaurus has just got into the pit.
One sec.
Warrior Huntsman's making moves, but he's just putting a fresh set of tyres. So let's just see what Rhonosaurus jumps onto whilst Dan's gone AWOL on me. And he's putting on the yellow mediums, but before that he will take his 5-second penalty.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's now on the medium tyres.
As Kieran is...
15.
Kieran is really sticking to the back of Clay.
And we have a very, very slow moving past there. That's because it's sideways now.
I'm guessing that is not Armand, that is Matey Boy.
His choice to reverse back onto track was a little dodgy, shall we say.
Yeah.
Because most people kind of turn as they reverse back onto track, so as they kind of go towards the flow of the traffic. No, he reversed like side on, so if anyone had actually come around that corner, they would have planted himself on the side of him. He was quite lucky he had quite a bit of space between people coming around, because he was on the exit of turn 2, I think that was.
As Avi might look up for a move on Stephen. No.
Ooh, Kieran had another go back there at Clay. Into the same place as Clay overtook Kieran on the last lap.
Late on the brakes from Kieran. It's a little bit later than what we had thought.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty theories done on those. I mean, 6 laps on those soft tyres after having qualified on them too. That's quite impressive because a lot of people are struggling, and he goes on to the mediums. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people have been struggling in practice on those tyres. You get them to around lap 4 to 6, and then you start losing time like through the floor. Oh, yeah. As Sociopath spins it as he comes into turn 1.
Oh.
That's definitely not helped, but I don't actually think he's lost any places there. I think he's behind Snitsy, but of course, lit up the rear tyres now, and he's struggling to grip with his teammate behind, who's actually put 6 laps on his soft tyres, so he probably won't be on those a whole lot longer either.
No. I'm just watching this battle with Kieran and Clay.
Yeah, there's been a really, really good battle between those two, and those two are actually the closest on track, besides the two Williams rivals who are currently one behind the other at the minute. You know, even they've spaced out a tad now as well. It was within a second now, but Sociopath just kind of gets later behind there by about a second, so. Paranoid's getting all over the back of Scott here. He's below half a second with them. And they're just hitting the DRS straight, down the back straight, so this may be time for a move. Are you going to make it?
Yep, the overspeed! And down the inside goes Paranoid.
No, that's a move made, that is.
And a very nice one, to say the least.
Yeah, I mean, the guys from sort of second to sixth.
Stephen's looking for a move. Oh, just touches the back wheel of Kieran's car.
I mean, I'll be surprised. I'm surprised Warrior Huntsman hasn't made it more places. Since he's gone onto these mediums, he seems to have sort of slowed down a little bit. You know?
Kieran's penalty is a 3-second penalty. And that is for APMARG.
Yeah, I think it was about lap 2 or 3 it popped up. It was for exceeding track limits. Oh,
yeah.
Very Hunsman's fun.
Oh?
Oh, yeah, the fast left-hander. Turn 5, is it 6, something like that?
That is turn 8.
8? Of course, I didn't think it was that far along, my mistake. Yes, but anyway, the fast right-hander. Now, of course, we've got too much temperature in those medium tyres, and there's just no grip. So he has dropped a couple of places because he was on the back of Scott, within half a second on the back of Scott at one point.
Matthias is looking possibly for a move on Stephen. He's too far back for it, though.
Yeah, the thing is, there's a massive DRS train going on there from playing P2 all the way down to Armand plays in P6. So there's like a 5-car DRS train going on there. So unless anyone overtakes Clay, which would be Kieran, then nobody's overtaking anybody over there.
Surprised there's not been a safety car yet.
No, I mean, there's been a couple of little incidents like, you know, spins and stuff like that, but nothing significant. I mean, yes, Bother has DNF, but Bother DNF in a garage from
that wasn't his
weird bug that was eating a Ferrari garage. I mean, I know Mercedes aren't fans of Ferrari, but eating the garage is something else. But besides that, we've had no real, you know, bumps and chunks. There's actually been a really, really clean start to the race. Which, I mean, the guys were saying before the race, you know, let's have another nice, good, clean race like we did in round 1. So, you know, I mean, even in round 1, all those safety cars, it wasn't due to collisions, it was due to people just losing it. And so far, we've had none of that tonight either. It's been a really good race so far, you know. And as the comments have just come in, don't jinx it, no safety cars, please.
Oh, why not? Safety car is amazing.
No, Dan, we do not want safety cars, because Dan turns around and goes, oh, Colin, what do you want to talk about during this safety car? Am I actually going to do nothing, leave me alone? Give me a gun so I can shoot myself. Just begin with it.
As Rhinosaurus spins. Turn 12.
So I am actually watching Paranoid and Scotty. Scotty's all over the back of Paranoid, and they're both on 8-lap hold hard tyres, and he just can't seem to get past. I mean, and
they are both on the hards too.
Yeah, that's what I say. Yeah, they're both on 8-lap old hard. They're now 9-lap old hards, of course, because they just crossed the start-finish line. So they are really, you know, kind of sticking together. There's almost half a second between them at any given point around the circuit. They've been like this for around about the last lap. Now, interestingly though, Kieran's dropped off the back of Clay. He's now about 2 seconds off the back of Clay.
Oh, Avalak's going round the outside.
I was going to say, Avi's just made a move.
It's quite a nice one too.
Kieran is in front of the DRS train, but it is now down to 4 cars instead of 5. Kieran is losing time here to play. I don't know if that's a tyre thing.
No, they're both on the soft. On the medium, sorry.
I just mean the way Kieran's maintaining on his tyres, because a minute ago it was like 1.8, 1.9, and now he's at like 2.2. And that was only maybe a sector ago. You know, he's lost a significant amount of time during this lap, and I don't know if that's due to a mistake or whether his tyres are starting to get a little bit squirrely on him or what, because this is the sort of ballpoint. Scott's just got a 5-second penalty for exceeding track limit.
Oh.
This is sort of ballpark where those tyres start to get a little unhappy. You know, I mean, they're not off the edge, they're not slewing all over or anything. And we've completely missed Hound's DNF, by the way.
Oh.
I've just spotted it at the bottom of the screen.
Well done, Hound.
Well, it was Hound. And there was another comment saying, "Go Abby." I believe that was a comment to the overtake we saw a little while ago.
Yeah.
We can only apologise for that. It'll be my fault because I'm usually the one checking comments. I'll take the blame for that one, I don't mind.
As Avi's now all over the back of Kieran.
Yeah, Avi's all over the back of Kieran. Now, is he going to have him into the next DRS zone? I was going to say, or is he going to have a go before? I thought he was going to have a go just then. I think he had a look. Excuse me, Avi might have got a really good drive out of this too. And he's got a lot more ERS than Kieran. Kieran's got about 8%. Avi's got like 50%.
Yeah, and here comes the overspeed.
Yeah.
On the outside.
On the outside as well. Oh, Kieran just cut that corner. That won't have helped. That is a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. So that is now 6 seconds, Kieran.
As Kieran goes into the pits.
So, I wonder what he's going to do. Is he going to go? Is he going medium hard? Is that the plan?
I guess we'll find out in a sec. It is the hard tyre. It is the white.
He goes quite a while, but they have not got a wicked amount.
Mayspin's just come out on the soft tyre also.
Ooh.
And Scott and Paranoid are still going at it.
Yeah. He's still going at it, and he's still half a second between them.
Yeah.
Although, as I said, Scott did pick up a penalty for a corner cut too.
Yes, that is true.
I do believe he actually cut the corner, took the plate and handed it back, but he still got the penalty for corner cutting.
Yeah.
Because I did, at the time I looked at it, I did see the name swap places and back again. So, I didn't actually see it happen, but that would be my guess as to why he got 5 seconds.
But I'll just stick on this for a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, there's not much else going on besides Arman is roughly half a second off the back of Stephen, which are now about to go down the back straight. So, there could be a move coming here, because he's getting closer.
And there also might be a move from Scott on Paranoid.
Maybe, yeah. No, Arman's backed out of it. So, yeah, Scott made the move happen there as well. He got that move done really early as well.
He did, but they're still as Clay's into the pits.
So close, yeah. Yeah, but so is Avi and Stephen as well, so we've got 3 in the pit. So is anyone going to get the jump on each?
And it is the hard tyre for...
It's the soft tyre for Stephen.
And it's the hard tyre for Avi.
So, hardcore playing Avi and soft for Stephen. I'm not sure what the plan is there with people jumping onto the soft in the middle of the race. Unless they're planning a medium, soft, medium. I mean, it's bold because you're only going to be on those softs for a few laps before the tube through themselves. So,
yeah.
I mean, I'll be honest, I'll probably do the same myself, you know, on Sunday, but that's besides the point.
Mayspin's now all the back of Paranoid and Scott. Now they'll be slowing Mayspin quite a significant amount.
Oh yeah, there will be on those fresh soft tyres. But in fairness, if he can get down the DRS now, he should at least get one of them. That would be Paranoid, of course.
Yep, which the move is already done.
By Paranoid's done, and that's not even with DRS. Now he's going to get DRS, and in fact, they both got DRS, so they're both going to be catching up with Scott now. So he's just going to get sandwiched.
They are side by side, and Paranoid's going around the outside.
May's Spin has just got a 3-second time penalty because he took too much corner. I honestly thought they were going to go 3 abreast around that corner there.
Oh, what a move from Paranoid. I'm just going to stick on with Clay and Cameron.
You've got food in your mouth again, haven't you?
No.
It sounded like you had food in your mouth just then. You sounded a little muffled, like you was eating again.
No. I'm smoking.
That could be why you sounded a bit muffled then. Mason's got Paranoid's move made.
Now it is.
Paranoid's conceding it easily because he's not. He's going around the outside and trying to stay with Mason there.
But now Paranoid's going to try and go from Scott.
Make the boy with a penalty as well. Yeah, I was going to say, I think Mason's going to crack Scott in a second as well. And then just leave these two to fight each other.
Avalak is quite far behind Stephen, but then again Stephen is on the soft tyre.
Interestingly, Mason has pit window showing and he's yellow for fuel as well, which means that he's actually running under the amount of fuel he requires to get to the end of the race.
And
so that's not going to be good for him.
it's not.
That means he's going to have to lift and coast a little further into the race to bring that back. But, I mean, obviously we can't see how much. It could just be a small, minute amount over. He could be half a lap over. We don't know. But either way, to bring that back, he's going to have to lift and coast a little.
He is.
Or conserve fuel, sorry, not reserve fuel. I know what I meant.
And Schnitzy's all on the back of Stephen. As Paranoid and Scott swap places for around about the 600th time this race.
Yeah, Rhinosaurus has just got another penalty.
And we've just had another comment come through.
Clay's all over the back of, I'll read it out in a second, Clay's all over the back of Cameron Poulter, who is on 10 lap hold mediums, and Clay is on fresh hard. So, my theory would be that those hards aren't going to come into their own yet. There's going to be a few more laps before that happens, but he's sticking with him, and if you can stick with him, you can overtake him. So that's a potential. And it was teabagged. There was two. He said weird track because you're getting exciting overtake, but generally it's a boring track.
Yeah.
And he says, do you fancy a practice session after this? I don't really think that's something we need to be talking about while on comms.
No.
We'll talk later, Teabag, not while we're on comms.
And that is Armin into the pits.
So,
and it is a set of soft.
Stop, and so far, the biggest loser here is Huntsman. Huntsman is all the way down in P12.
Oh, Kieran's looking for a move from the outside of Avi.
I'm actually still on board with Clay, who's still trying to attack the back of that Red Bull ahead of him.
Oh, Armand's come out in a good spot behind them.
Really good spot, actually. He's on the faster tyres, and he's within a second of both of the guys ahead of him.
Yeah.
So he could get a really clean overtake once he gets the DRS.
Is it me, or is it starting to get a bit darker on track?
It does look a bit darker in the sky, but I don't think we've got that rain coming just yet. I mean,
but it is getting darker.
But I do think that's what the guys at the front on the 15-lap-old hards are waiting for.
Yeah.
Saying that, Schnitzy and Matthias are also on 15 and 13 lap seats as well, so I think all those guys are waiting for the rain. That was probably why they started the race on hard, was because they was waiting for the rain later in the race to switch over to inters.
And is Arman looking for a move on Avi with DRS? Is he getting... He's going to go down the inside. Oh, a little tap on the back of Kieran. And it is starting to rain.
I haven't seen any yet, although Clay is going sideways now.
Going down in Sector 3, there is rain.
Yeah, I'm just at the beginning of Sector 1, so I haven't seen any of that yet. And I'm on board with Clay, who's got Kieran right behind him, who's got Armin right behind
Schnitzy
him.
is spinning.
And they're all behind Stephen.
And
so.
Huntsman has got the inters on already.
Ooh. Yep, now I think I can see a bit of rain coming down in Sector 2 there.
Yep, Sector 3, it is raining quite a bit. Has Huntsman pulled off the best?
Yep, this is already the rain coming now, so people will all be jumping in the pit now in the next lap.
Yep, Jack Slater is in.
Is that going to be a bold move? Is it too early for inters? The rain's only just started.
No. I don't think it's too early. Inters for Jack Slater. It is inters for Matey Boy. And it's also inters for J-Doy as well.
And the thing is, like I said, DRS hasn't even been disabled yet, so it's not actually that wet. I mean, it is wet, it's just not that wet.
Paranoid still all over the back of Scott.
Well, he's still over the back of Stephen as well. Bear in mind, Stephen's on fresh socks as well.
Cameron's in the pits.
Yeah,
so is Stephen.
Oh, that was a big off. That's Avalak out. He's just come out the last turn and gone. Well, he stayed going left and into the wall.
Oh. And will that be a safety car? I don't think it is.
No, I don't think it is, you know. But that is literally right as you come out of the last turn.
Yeah.
Oh, that's Wally Huntsman going round in circles on his inters, coming out of the penultimate turn.
Oh.
Oh, this is not going well for anyone. I'm going to say no, because the car's gone. I mean, it was before the start-finish line. It was in that big patch of grass just after you take the left-hander.
Ah, right.
So, no, the car's gone, so there will be no safety car, which I'm surprised. That was a big, big crash.
And Armin is all over the back of Kieran.
There was a big old fight going on down in the back straight there.
There is.
Paranoid.
Clay, Kieran and Armin.
No, it's not Clay, is it?
Yep. As Kieran tries to do a godsend.
It was hard to tell who was who because they was all moving around, and every time you pick up on one of them, another one would move.
They're not going into the pits yet, but Sociopath is.
Yeah, I'm going to say Socio's dipped into tyres.
And it is the intermediate.
Yep.
I think it is wet enough. Yep.
And it looks like you take inters off.
Yep. It is inter time now.
I'm just surprised DRS hasn't been deactivated yet. I mean, clearly everyone's slowing all over the place and barely got any grip left on those, especially on the slips. I mean, Huntsman's still having trouble last time I checked on his inters as well, so... And in fairness, I haven't looked at him for a lap or two now. So...
Yeah, it is soaking in Sector 2.
In fact, I think Huntsman might have been in for a new set of inters.
Yeah, Sector 2 is soaked. So therefore, yep. I think DRS should be disabled.
Well, it hasn't been yet on our screen.
No. As Clay... Jadoy is having a bit of fun going through Clay.
I'm just trying to see if anyone's close enough to see whether the wings are open.
Arman has.
Yeah,
and it's going to go for a move down the inside of Clay.
Why does it look like that car's ghosted? Oh, it's
it is.
Not Kieran. I was about to say it's Kieran ghosted.
And the leaders are now in the pits. And DRS is disabled.
Kieran's just going round in circles. Penultimate turn. He was just... I don't know what was going on there. He couldn't seem to keep
yeah, everyone in the pits. As Matey Boy DNF'd.
Oh, Matey Boy's gone now as well. So we've just lost Huntsman and Matey Boy. And there was a big crash from Avi as well. We still haven't had safety car, surprisingly.
Yeah, it is definitely into time.
I'm surprised not everyone's on inters now. I mean, we've just seen
Mayspin's in the lead with a 6-second gap.
Yeah, then there's another 11 seconds for Sociopath in third. So there's gaps appearing everywhere now. There's no tiny gaps anymore. Besides Snitsy, who's all over the back of Rhonosaurus, who's about to lose his position. There he goes, because he's on the soft tyres.
Yeah.
He's now pitting, that's why he lost the position. So, but everyone else has got at least a second plus between them, so there's no real close fights going on anymore since the rain kind of ruined the race for everyone.
It has. It's ruined our entertainment as well.
Okay, so T-Bag said something and then retracted it. So whatever he said there was probably inappropriate because it's T-Bag.
Yeah.
And then he's just said, Huntsman, payback for ditching me in season 2.
Oh.
That seems a little rude.
Oh, T-Bag.
I think that's because Huntsman didn't turn up a whole lot for the end of season 2 in the Championship 3. He just keeps complaining about it consistently, like at least once a day. Okay, maybe not day, maybe more like every few days to a week, but you know I like to exaggerate when it comes to T-Bag.
Exactly, it is T-Bag.
So, nothing more fun than exaggerating when it comes to T-Bag.
As Paranoid's back into the pits.
Yeah, that can't be good.
Is it going to be full wets?
Maybe, but I doubt it. Maybe he's just had a little bit of an off and broke his wing. That's just happening.
No, it is another set of inters.
Yeah,
and it is front wing. Yeah.
He must have had a little off somewhere and broke his wing off.
But yeah, there's not a lot on track going on.
T-Bag says, that was for the spin, not the DNF. I read it out late. In fairness, it was 5 minutes ago, so...
Ah, it's gone all boring now.
The thing is, I'm not the one who sees the on-air thing where it shows how many people are watching, how many people are commenting, stuff like that.
I didn't notice it. I didn't notice it.
So if he sees a comment, he should be telling me so I can read it out to him. But he's not. He's lazy.
No, I just didn't notice it, okay?
Got your eyes on Susan too much. You need to stop and just watch what we're doing while we're busy. Talking of which, there does seem to be something happening here. So
yeah, Cameron Porter on Scott.
On the back of Scott, yeah. I've just realised that somebody's actually under a second.
And I was already watching it.
A little bit there. Yeah, I was just kind of watching people go round and round and round, and there was nothing really happening because of the rain, so...
Let's hope our race isn't like this on Sunday.
Okay, so in response to what you were saying, I apologise, I had a sweet stuck in my throat. Anyway, yeah, you're right, hopefully it's not like this, because if it's like this, I'm going to end up like Warrior Huntsman or Abby. I'm going to go before or after I get my injuries on, but one or another I'm going to go. It'll happen. And now Teabag is laughing and saying that we're having a lovers tip. I assume he means we're having a lovers tip, not him and Warrior Huntsman, since we were currently discussing your inability to tell me when there's a message come through.
Colin, a message come through.
Oh, right, there we go. A little bit like me, but Teabag says we're having a lovers tip. I thought Cameron Porter is actually staying right on the back of Scott, but he doesn't seem to be gaining anything. He gets within 4 tenths and then drops to 7 tenths. Gets within 4 and then drops off again.
And that is because Scott's on and off his ERS. Message!
It rains, I'll go for the win. He's on about Sunday. If it rains, he's going to go for the win.
Alright, Teabag,
I'll go for the wall.
I'll believe it when I see it.
To be fair, he does seem to really enjoy the rain. He's one of those kind of weirdos.
Yeah, it is kind of weird.
So, yep, they're still going at it, these two. And there's nothing else happening on track. Like, everybody's got gaps between them. I mean, the closest ones are probably Clay on the back of Stephen, which is around about 1 to 1.2 seconds.
Oh, a little wobble from Cameron.
Jack Slater, which is about 1.5 to 1.6 seconds. Oh, it's just up to 1.3. But even so, it's kind of, they're the closest gaps we've got besides the Cameron Porter and Scotty tussle for P4. So, I know it's not a safety car, and I know this usually happens the other way around, but Darren, what do you want to talk about, mate?
Driver of the day.
Well, I'm going to go not Warrior Huntsman.
I'm going to go Scott.
That's the race. To be honest, as it stands, with 5 laps to go, unless he does something catastrophic.
No! Sediluk.
I do think Scott's had a great race. Yeah. Yes and no. I mean, Sediluk's had a good race, but it's been a very quiet race. I'm not seeing him really have to send anyone off.
No, the only reason why I said Scott is because defending with Paranoid, and now in 4th.
A huge walk. That is a nice helmet there that Cameron's got on as well. Yeah, I mean, he's having a massive fight going on here trying to hold Cameron off, and he's been doing it very, very well, although he is about to lose P4, I think, as we say that.
A little bit of contact.
I think Cameron lost his tail just before the contact happened there. Oh no. Around him. And Scott's ahead again. So this is exactly what we're on about. And now they're side by side. So, there was a little bit of contact there though.
And that is Cameron sliding.
I'm not sure if it was the contact that actually caused that slide though, because there was a little bump to the wheels and then they moved away, and then Cameron's bump started to come in and the back started to drift around, so I'm not sure if it was anyway,
I'm not sure, but Scott, definitely.
Even running up to all that, Scott's had a very good race. He had the laps and laps and laps and laps and laps of him and Paranoid going at each other, just swapping places, you know. I mean, because we're talking about Cameron as well, Paranoid is another one that if he'd have been in a better position now, I would have suggested towards Driver of the Day, because he had a really, really good battle with Scott. The only difference is, in fact, Scott's actually in P4, whereas Paranoid's outside the top 10 currently. Hang on. It appears Roman Taurus might be about to make a move on Jack Slater. It is into turn 1.
Ooh.
That was an interesting place to make a move. But it was on the inside, you know.
So it is Scott for Driver of the Day?
With a few laps to go, unless he does something idiotic before the end, and as it's Scott, we know he might.
Oh, contact
so
from
far,
Cameron.
I will agree with you for now. You know, post finish of the race, yes, I agree with it being Scott. For now.
Righty ho.
Like I said, unless anything happens before the end of the race, which is quite possible.
Oh yeah, 3 laps to go.
And those two are fighting it out.
Yeah.
That's coming up the inside again. Ooh, that was very close. That was almost Cameron's front wing and Scott's rear tyre. Although that was a little push from Cameron there. That was, get on your foot a bit faster, you're in my way. We've all done that once before.
Oh, yes. I just like sticking up the inside a little bit just to let them know, hiya, I'm here.
Well, I do believe that means the Championship 1 race is over. It's okay, I've just had a message on the Williams group.
Yeah,
So,
I've had one with Mercedes as well.
That means that the...
And Paranoid's just overtaken Kieran. And that is Kieran Span.
Oh, that's not good for Kieran then.
No.
Yeah, so that means that Championship 1 is over, so we're just waiting for the results of Championship 2 today.
Yes.
Or rather, tier. We spoke about this before we started.
Indeed.
Ooh. Well, let's have a look at that. Snips is getting quite close to the back of Kieran now.
And that is Cameron with a 3-second penalty.
Yes, it is. But he has taken the place away from Scott as well. Not that it's going to last now, because unless he can find 3 seconds over the course of...
Oh!
And this Scott got himself one as well. So that's what I was about to say.
And we are going to have a little bit of... I was just about to say a DRS train. But we haven't got any DRS.
No DRS.
I've just realised Mayspin's got a penalty.
Yes, Mayspin does have a penalty.
Of 3 seconds, so if Sediluk can get 8 tenths.
8 tenths. Yeah, 7, 8 tenths over the course of the next couple of laps, Sediluk can still win this.
Ooh.
You can tell Championship 1 or Tier 1 finished because the incident page is just open.
Ah. Wait, how can you see the Championship 1?
No, because the Championship 2 one's done. Dan's just opened the incident page for Tier 2. So obviously Tier 1's finished because Dan would have been driving otherwise.
True. So Scott and Cameron has got a bit of a gap.
Yeah, but I mean, even so, I know Scott's picked up that penalty, and I know he's lost P4 for P5, and there's still a potential for him to lose another place. But as it stands, at the start of the last lap, second to last lap, sorry, my mistake, it changed before I looked at it. He's actually up 10 places, and he's had one hell of a fight almost the entire race with one driver or another trying to take a position away from him. So, yeah, I mean, 10 places as well, so I think he's had a really good drive today.
Yeah.
I mean, a couple of those places have been assisted by the likes of Abbey and Warrior Huntsman crashing out, but, you know, 10 places is 10 places. I mean, Sediluk, in fairness, has picked up 16.
Yeah.
But I also think Sediluk had a very, very quiet race. Kind of kept his head down, kept himself nice and clean and out of the way. And that's great, but we've seen Scott put up such a fight for all of his positions that, you know, he's either won or lost a few of them. You know, like he just lost to Cameron, but he had a win-loss situation with Paranoid going on. So, you know, I think I think he deserves it. I think I agree with your original analysis on that one.
Oh, but Clay is getting on the back of Stephen on the last lap.
Yeah, like within a tenth, though. Sorry, no, I misread that. It was within 9 tenths. It's because there's 8 tenths between Scott and Stephen, and there was 9 tenths between Stephen and Clay, and I automatically went, oh, there's 8 tenths there, he's only a tenth back from him, and it wasn't, he was 9 tenths. Completely misread my screen.
Well done, Colin. Well done.
I did it down, it's fine, don't worry. So now we are going on to the last lap, and there is a fight going on for 5, 6 and 7 here.
Yeah, on the last lap as well.
Nixie's looking to have a go at taking P11 away from Kieran as well. But as it stands, as long as these guys all finish, they all pick up at least a point.
Indeed they do. And Clay's all over the back of Stephen.
The thing is, while Stephen's defending from Clay, he's not got time to attack Scott, and that's good for Scott.
Yeah.
Because then it means Scott can just ride clean away from them. You know, he actually got away a little bit then, but it's been closed up again. But it's making it just a little bit easier for him to hold on to his 2.5.
And Stephen's getting out of fuel.
Yeah, that's another thing that plays into it.
Because it is now flashing red.
Yeah. Yeah, but then so is Clay as well. They're both on bare minimum fuel here. Scott's actually okay fuel-wise.
Oh.
I think he moved there to try and break the toe, but it didn't really work because they just followed him. I mean, it wasn't weaving or anything, he just kind of made a move out of the way, and then now he's back on the driving line. Using what little bit of ERS he's got to stay ahead of them.
And... yeah. Oh, Stephen runs out of fuel.
Oh, unlucky.
Oh.
Scott got down to P7 because of penalties.
Yeah.
That's really unlucky. But then, I mean, he still picked up 8 places, and he defended like his life depends on it, so...
yeah, I think he still deserves driver of the day.
I think he still deserves it, yeah. I mean, I've not seen anybody else put up such a fight like he has today. You know, that big battle he had for laps and laps and laps with Paranoid, I think is enough. And then he went ahead and did it again with Cameron Poulter as well, so...
exactly.
So I think it's absolutely deserved, I think. Yeah, I think he deserves driver of the day.
That is...
Two-bag retraction things again. Cameron says he crashed on lap 1 and dropped to 16th, but he'll take a P4.
Not bad.
Not bad at all.
So, that is... the race pretty much over and done with.
Yeah, I think we're just waiting for Jack Slater to...
and that is that.
There we go. So that is your lot. Driver
of the day, Sedlock.
The game says Sedlock because he picked up the most places, but the game doesn't comprehend, you know,
battles,
attacking, defending, battles, stuff like that, which obviously we do. So I disagree with the game there. I think Sedlock was a close second to driver of the day because he did have a really, really good drive, and he did pick up P2, I think it was, in the end, weren't it?
Yes, it was.
But for me, all the battles and that went on, it has to be Scott. You know, he attacked. Pardon me, he attacked, he defended. You know, like it was the last race of his life. So
exactly.
You know, I really think he deserves it, and I don't think we've ever voted for him either. Which so that'll be a change as well.
Indeed, it will. So that is that done here at China for Tier 2. And it is Maespin who also picks up the fastest lap as well.
That's quite a significant fastest lap as well. If you compare that to everyone else, I think the nearest is a
1:35.4.
Oh, 1:35.4. Okay, I didn't see the 4. I saw the 8.
That is Huntsman.
Yeah, but that's still half a second different.
It is.
In
So,
the wet.
we move on to next week, which I believe is Imola? Give me a sec.
Yeah, just give me a second. I'm just doing the same thing. Hungary.
Ah, it's Hungary. Imola's not for a while.
I was about to say, I don't even know when Emily's going to be, but it's not for a while, mate.
That's after the new year.
Yeah, like, I don't know what world you're in.
So, we go on to the Hungaroring next weekend. I have been CDR Ninja with Mechanical. We'll see you back out on track on Sunday.